Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Sodananda Yashodanandana Brajanandana Yamuna Tira Vanachyari. Yamuna Tira Vanachyari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Sodanandana Brajanandana Yashodanandana Brajanandana Yamuna Tira Vanachyari. Yamuna Tira Vanachyari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Sodananda Yachodanandana Brajanandana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Sri Radha Madhava ki Jai Nitya Lila Vishnu Mustafa Rasavaenge Sila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Sila Prabhupada ki ISKCON Samsabhika Jaya Rasavaenge Sila Prabhupada ki Ananda Guri Vaishnavina ki Sadguru Swami Prabhu ki Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki Prem Sikha Hosi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Go Shama Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan ki Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham ki Sri Navadip Mayapur Dham ki Jagannath Puri Dham ki Sri Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Bolo Sri Krishna Baldao ki Jai Go Premanand. All glories to the Samudavadi. All glories to the Samudavadi. All glories to the Samudavadi. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru Gauranga. Glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. So it's an extremely great pleasure to again be here at Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Mandir. And to be here at the lotus feet of Sri Sri Nitai Gaur Sundar. And be here at the lotus feet of Sri Sri Radha Gopinathju. And be at the lotus feet of Sri Nathji Gopalji. To be here at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. And be with all the wonderful devotees of ISKCON Chopati. It's a great pleasure for me. After a long time we've come here. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 23, entitled The Song of the Vanti Brahmana. Text number 23. Swarga Pavargayor Dvaram Prapya Lokan Imam Puman Dravine Kunjasa Jeta Martyo Nartasya Dhamani Swagapavargayodaram Prapya lokam imam puman Dravine ko nusajeta Martyo nartasya dhamani Swagapavargayodvaram Prapya lokam imam puman Dravine konju sajeta Martyo nartasya dhamani Swagapavargayodvaram Prapya lokam imam puman Dravine konju sajeta Martya nartasya dhamani Ladies? Swarga of heaven, Apavargayo and liberation. Dwaram, the gateway. Prapya, achieving. Lokam, the human life. Imam, this. Puman, a person. Dravine, to property. Kaha, who? Anusajjita, will become attached. Martyaha, prone to death. Anartasya, of worthlessness. Dhamani, in the realm. Translation: what mortal man, having achieved this human form of life, which is the very gateway to both heaven and liberation, would willingly become attached to that abode of worthlessness, material property. Translation, please repeat. What mortal man, having achieved this human life, which is the very gateway to both heaven and liberation, would willingly become attached to the abode of worthlessness, material property. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. That which one intends to use for one's personal sense gratification is called material property, whereas paraphernalia to be used in the Lord's loving service is understood to be spiritual. One should give up all one's material property by using it completely in the devotional service of the Lord. A person who owns a luxurious mansion should install the deity of the Lord and hold regular programs to propagate Krishna consciousness. Similarly, wealth should be used to build temples of the Lord and publish literature scientifically explaining the personality of Godhead. One who blindly renounces material property without utilizing it in the service of the Lord does not understand that everything belongs to the personality of Godhead. Such blind renunciation is based on the material idea that this property could belong to me, but I don't want it. Everything in fact belongs to God. Knowing this, one neither tries to enjoy nor reject the things of this world, but peacefully engages them in the service of the Lord. Svargopagayo dwaram prapya lokam imam puman dravine konuja sajeta martyo nartasya damani. What mortal man, having achieved this human life, which is the very gateway to both heaven and liberation, would willingly become attached to the abode of worthlessness, material property. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militam Jena Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Tadati Swapadam Aradanastanandantai Ridam Yache Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Padambujo Dulisyam Janma Janmani. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Panchakalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhuvevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Svargopavargayo. Svarga means the heavenly planets. Apavarga, this is very interesting. Means liberation. Because opposite of liberation is pavarg. Just like in school we learn all the different letters. So they all have their ka, ga like that. Then there's one varg that is pa, ba, ma. So Srila Prabhupada explains this pavarg. First is pa means to parishram, yeah, all right. I knew it meant work hard, but what was it? Couldn't remember the word. Parishram. That everybody, just like described in this particular chapter, everybody is working very hard, doing lots of parishram. We work very hard. Especially to enjoy simple life, we have to work very hard. If we want to live very simply, then there's no difficulty. But if you want to enjoy so many illicit activities in this material world, then you have to work very hard, parishram. And so everyone is working hard just like an ass. So pa means parishram. And pa means fena. We're working very hard, just like you see the bull, he's pulling the plow and fena, foam is coming from his mouth. So like that, we're just working hard, uselessly trying to accumulate all these material things. Pa, ba. Ba means byart. Byart means useless and juiceless. Here it's describing, what is it? Anartasya. Worthlessness. Although we work so hard to get all these things in the material world, but they slip right through our hands, and at the end they all taken away very cruelly by the hands of death. Just like one time Shamsundar Prabhu, he took Prabhupada to George Harrison's house in London. Prabhupada came to London, so he told Shamsundar, please take me to see George Harrison. At that time, George Harrison was working on a new album. So they got there. George Harrison wasn't there, but his wife was there. She recognized Prabhupada, so she immediately let him in and took them upstairs to George's room, said he'll come in a little while. So Prabhupada was sitting in a chair in George Harrison's room. The window, he was sitting with his back to the window. Behind was the green countryside of England. England is very green, rains a lot there, so it's very green. And Prabhupada was softly chanting and waiting and waiting. Finally, in the afternoon, George Harrison came home. And when he heard from his wife that Prabhupada was there, he ran up, darted up the stairs. And he just fell right at Srila Prabhupada's feet. Here's George Harrison, who the whole world is worshipping. I used to go when I was young. We go to the Beatles concert, and all the young girls were there. Ah! Whole world was worshipping him. They would go crazy. They called Beatlemania. We saw personally with our eyes. Whole world is worshipping him. He was falling at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada took his hand and just rubbed his hair like this. And he sat up, and George Harrison, probably one of the most important people in the whole universe at that time, the whole world, not the universe, but at least on earth at that time. He sat on the floor at Prabhupada's feet, didn't even sit in his own chair, he sat on the floor of Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet. And Prabhupada began to preach, Byart, how this material world is useless. And he just kept hanging on this point that this material world is useless. Everything here is useless. It'll all be finished at death. He said, you may think that you have a nice... Prabhupada explained, this material world is just a prison house. You may have a nice view from your prison house window. But you must know it is a prison house. Otherwise you're rascal number one. He gave somebody who was just preaching and preaching. The sun was going down behind Prabhupada's head. Prabhupada's head was silhouetted. You could see the little hairs coming out from his ears, everything like that. And Shamsundar said it was like Prabhupada and the sun made a pact to bring light into the world. They made a pact to bring light into the world. And finally the sun set behind Prabhupada's head. The room became dark. But everybody was transfixed. Prabhupada was preaching to one of the richest men on the planet at the time, about the worthlessness of all his material possessions. And nobody even got up to turn on the light. It just became dark because Prabhupada was giving knowledge, was giving light so much, nobody even noticed that the room had become dark. Suddenly Prabhupada looked at his watch. He said, it is time for us to go. Oh, then George Harrison came out of the light and he immediately flipped on the light. That night he scrapped his whole album. He wrote a whole other album called Living in the Material World. It had even the cover of Bhagavad Gita. If any of you are old enough to remember records, LPs, on the center of the disc, it had the picture from Krishna and Arjuna being pulled by the chariot in the Battle of Kurukshetra from the Bhagavad Gita. And Prabhupada said, this record has done more for our preaching than we have done in the last 10 years. He was so proud of George Harrison for doing this. So he wrote one line based on Prabhupada's teachings. He said, we all move around with objectives in mind to become rich and famous with a reputation signed. We all move around with objectives in mind to become rich and famous with a reputation signed. Everybody's thinking somehow or other I'm going to become very rich and famous. Everyone's going to admire me. My reputation sign. He said, everyone's thinking like that, but even those few who get to that coveted slot, only few people. Huh? We see most of us, we're all very poor. Only few people are there. Just like America, they call it the 1%. 90% are down, 1% got most of the wealth. Huh? Even those few who get to that coveted slot, birth, death, disease, and old age creeps to their body just like a rot. Very beautiful. Prabhupada puts Prabhupada's teaching in so poetic way. Even they get there to that spot, they're not saved. Birth, death, disease, and old age creep to their body just like a rot. So it is all bhyart. Pa, pa, ba, ba. And we're always fearful. Just like everybody wants to go and live in New York. They call it the Big Apple. But if you go to visit everybody lives in such fear. They have a big apartment on the 55th floor of some building. Actually, it is illusion. Their ceiling is somebody else's floor. Their floor is somebody else's ceiling. Their wall is somebody else's wall. Their other wall. All they own, they don't own anything, just some space, some air. But they're thinking, I spent millions of dollars for this apartment. Oh, how wonderful. But their ceiling is someone else's floor. The floor is someone else's ceiling. Wall is somebody else's wall. They own a little piece of air, and that air is so polluted they have to have so many machines to filter out all the pollution. It's like in Delhi now. But he's so afraid that somebody will come and steal his wealth. So you can't even get into the apartment building. First you come there, there's a whole list of buttons. Then you find your friend's apartment number, you push that button. Then suddenly a little voice comes. Who's there? Bye. They're in fear. Who's there? Then you identify, oh, it's my friend. Okay. Then you hear this horrible sound. As long as that sound is going, you can open the door. You can't even get in. You have to first identify, then you can get in. Then you go up this elevator to the 55th floor. He lives on the 55th floor. You find his apartment, you ring the bell. There's this little piece of glass in the center of the door. Suddenly it becomes dark. Bye, he's fearful. Who's there? Then it suddenly becomes dark. And then once he recognizes you, then you hear about 5 different locks, Who wants to live in such fear? I've been to villages where nobody even bothers to put lock. We went to go over an eco village. We went to some preaching program in some nearby village that the devotees were doing. And the devotee, he lost the key. All his projector equipment and so many valuable things are there. He just left it unlocked. No need of lock. Nobody lives in fear. But everybody wants to live in New York, but they live in fear. Somebody's going to take everything. And eventually death will take everything. When you're lying on your deathbed, it's, no, I have an apartment on the 55th floor. It's going to stay where it is. No, but I have my beautiful wife. She will follow you up to the door. No, but I have all my children and my friends. They will follow you up to the bank of the river. But I have my body. That will follow you up to the pyre. Then, when they light the fire, you will go on alone. No body, no friends, no wife, no house, no car. Everything will stay here. All bhyart. So then, as the last one is ma, of course we just described mrityu. Everything is taken away at death, mrityu. So this is pavarga. So apavarga, apas means liberation, freedom. So swargapavargayo dwaram, this body, this human form of body, is the dwar, the door, either to swarg, which is still one step down, or apavarga, swargapavarga, swargapavargayo. Only with this human form of body we can become elevated. Otherwise, till we get to the human form of life, we're just going from one species to the next, one species to the next, so many different types of bodies. Only with this human body is described durlabhajanam. Very rarely attained. Either from here we can go up to the Swarga, or we can go even leave this material world altogether. It is the door. Or we can go back down. If we misuse this opportunity. You got this opportunity after many millions of births. There's 8,400,000 species. You move through all of those different species, finally you get this human form of life. If you misuse it, you'll go back down. And even if you go to the Swarg, that is also described, that Krishna describes in Bhagavad Gita. Even they go up, again they come down. They give you a nice debit card that you have so much enjoyment in the Swarg. And one day you put it in the ATM, it says balance 0. Back to this Martya Loka. Therefore here this Prabhupada says that those things which we use for our own sense gratification, that is called material. But that same paraphernalia utilized in the service of the Lord, that becomes spiritual. Devotees have the greatest mystic power. People are always looking for some yogi who will do some mystic power. It's like there's some guy, he can make some ash come out of his hand. My god sister, she was following one character. He gave her a gold, suddenly from his hand came a golden ring with her initials carved in it on the back, engraved, like one of these fellows was there. Later she recognized all these useless tricks as just tricks. The real trick is to change matter into spirit. And that devotees have that power. We take the same material thing, just like in Bombay, so many buildings are there. So there's also a fancy building. Very, very lovely. We're very happy to be here. See this beautiful Gopinath Mandir, so wonderful. So it's just like so many other buildings here, but this, somehow, as soon as we enter this place, there's a different atmosphere. Even in the old days, now we have big fancy temples like this, but when I joined, we just rented a house in the low rent district of town that nobody cared to go to. We painted it funny colors, we put a sign outside, Radha Krishna temple. But as soon as you walked in, everybody who walked in, there's different atmosphere here. Because here everything is meant for the service of the Lord. So same material things that we have, so much stone and carved wood, and so that you'll find in so many buildings here. What's so special? This is being used for service of Radha Gopinath. This becomes spiritual. So we have the greatest mystic power. We can change matter into spirit just by utilizing the service of the Lord. Therefore he's saying, who is that useless person who will give up this opportunity? Well, give it now. You got this human form of life. You can utilize everything in the service of the Lord. It's Prabhupada's point here is that it's not that you have to give up anything. That is the point being made here. Because what is there for you to give up? You came here empty-handed, you leave empty-handed. Just like Alexander the Great, he conquered most of the known world at that time. And when he was dying, he said, you make a coffin for me, you leave my hands outside. They said, why? I want everyone to see that I conquered the known world, but I'm going empty-handed. I'm going empty-handed. So all of this thing will not stay with us. But if we utilize these things for the service of the Lord, then we'll gain eternal life. So, the point is, I forgot the point. The point is that we came here with nothing, we'll leave with nothing. So you can't say, I renounce everything. Just like I come and I live in your house for a few days, then I start to say, this is my house. Immediately you'll call the police and have me arrested. This guy's gone crazy, he's pago. If I stay in your house for a few days and I say, all right, this is my house, this is my car, this is my furniture, everything is mine. And they say, this guy's gone pago. You call it, send him to Ranchi. So, those who simply renounce everything, Prabhupada is pointing the point, they don't understand real renunciation. Real renunciation means to see everything belongs to the Lord and utilize it for the service of the Lord. Just like he gives the example, someone may have a nice mansion, just like we got this beautiful building, but we're using it, we've installed the deities, and everything here is meant for the service of the deities. People are coming here singing and dancing before the deities. All over Bombay people are singing and dancing. But not for Krishna. Here everybody's singing and dancing for Krishna. And we see those people who are singing and dancing, you can see they look like material bodies. But when we see the devotees dance, they're dancing on the spiritual platform. They look like souls. Everybody else is dancing in Bombay. They look like material bodies, isn't it? You can see they're exactly material body. But devotees dance, it's divine, it's divya. They're dancing for the Lord. So everything here, we establish the deity, we're inviting people to come hear about the scientific process of Krishna consciousness. It's scientific. You take the same material things, you utilize them in the service of the Lord, it becomes spiritual. Because everything, the point Prabhupada is making, everything belongs to Krishna. So if I take Krishna's property and utilize it in His service, then that is perfection. Now they say I renounce everything. Just like suppose you hire me to take care of your garden. You have a big mansion with a big garden. And you got usually we have a lawnmower that you push like this, but this guy, he's got fancy lawnmower, you sit on it and it's got blades all over the place, and it's even got a fan, so you can ride around in the heat and be comfortable, and you can ride all over and cut the grass very easily like that. And the guy comes out, he's hired this guy to cut the grass, he's there with the scissors. No, I renounce all these things. You say, this guy's crazy, you fire him. I gave him all these facilities just to cut my grass. He's saying, no, I'm renounced. I'm going to cut it with the scissors. I'm renounced. What is this renunciation? So we come here, there's nothing is ours, and we want to say, oh, I renounce everything. Are you going to leave without anything? You came with nothing? What is there for you to renounce? The only thing that we can renounce is our sense of proprietorship. That's the thing you have to renounce. The things, they belong to Krishna. If we use them in Krishna's service, that is perfection. But we're thinking all these things are mine, just like a thief. If he comes and he takes something illegally, then he's always worried every time he sees a policeman. Boom, 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 maybe they're coming to get me, It's just the postman coming up the walk to deliver a letter, but he saw a uniform. Oh, police have come, bum, 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 bum. Always living in fear. So the same way, we're collecting all these material things and we're always living in fear. Because we know that at the end everything will be taken away from us. And so we're always living in fear. And in the end everything is taken away. I'm lying there in my bed, I'm saying, no, no, no. Prabhupada said that one guy told the doctor, please extend my life just 5 more days, I have to finish my work. And not 1 second he can give you, the doctor. So everything's going to get taken away from you now, at the end, in great fear. Better to give it with love now. You're going to give it up anyway, in great fear and anxiety. Better to take all the things you have and utilize them for the service of the Lord now in love. If you've offered everything to the Lord, then you have nothing to lose. The time of death, what do you have to lose? Nothing. Therefore, our Bhaktivinoda Thakur, beautiful picture is backside there, He sings, Manasa Deha Geha, Jo Kichu Mor, Arpilum Dua Pade Nanda Kishore. Manasa means my mind. Manasa Deha Geha. Geha is simple old Bengali for Griha, my house, my belongings. Manasa deha geha jo kichu more. Whatever is mine, I'm thinking is mine. Arpilum duapade Nandakishore. I'm offering to the two lotus feet of Nandakishore. This is the way to offer a thing with love. You're going to give it up with fear, better to offer it with love. Manasa deha geha jo kichu more arpilum duapade Nandakishore. We have to see everything as Krishna's. Just like one time, one friend, this is one of Sarvabhauma's favorite stories. It's just like I have so many Leela's stories. Sarvabhauma, he's got a big bag of wonderful anecdotes. So one time, the one friend came to visit his other friend. And he said, oh, you have a beautiful car, nice fancy car. He said, ye sab Thakur ji ka hai. He said, such a beautiful house, ye sab Thakur ji ka hai. And he said, oh, you have such a wonderful wife. Ye sab Thakur ji ka hai. You have such obedient children. Oh, ye sab Thakur ji ka hai. And then he brought him inside the house. He says, oh, beautiful furniture. He said, oh, ye sab Thakur ji ka hai. Then they went into one room. There was this little golden form there with a laddu in his hand. And the guy said, what is that? He said, well, that's mine. Or sab Thakur ji ka hai, but he's mine. This is the only possession of the devotee. Everything else belongs to Krishna, but Krishna, he is mine. If you want to say something is yours, then you say, oh, this one, he is mine. All this, everything else, that belongs to him, but he's mine. This is the only possession we have. So that is the lesson that our Brahman is learning here. This is a very wonderful chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the end, verse 57 is actually the sannyas mantra. It is a very beautiful verse. All the sannyasis, they chant this mantra. Etam sastaya paratmanishtam adhyasitam purva atmarma maharshibi aham talisyami durantaparam tamo mukundang rinishevayaiva. I shall cross over the insurmountable ocean of nescience by being firmly fixed in the service of the lotus feet of Mukunda, Mukandri. This was approved by the previous acharyas who were fixed in firm devotion to the Lord, Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Parat says, what is that? Paratmanishtam, by being firmly devoted to the lotus feet of the Lord. So this is very important verse. This is all the sannyasis chant this verse every day. This is our business, to become fixed in devotional service of the Lord. So I was thinking, where shall we go today? So I was seeing this beautiful cow there on the altar. It's reminding me of Krishna's cowherd pastimes. So there's a very beautiful place near Nandagam called Ter Kadam. And after the Gopastami day, Krishna was given charge of the cows. So Ter Kadam was a little quite distant from Nandagam. Otherwise, when he was taking care of the calves, when he was Vatsapal, before he was Vatsapal, then he became Gopal. He was herding the calves just near the village. But now he's become Gopal. The cows, they like to go, they like to eat. And you've seen cows, they're hungry all the time. Just like you go to the Goshala in Govardhan Eco Village or Vrindavan, immediately the cow comes. You got something to eat. They immediately come as soon as they see a Vaishnava. Especially in Vrindavan, we have these special cow laddus that you can feed. So as soon as they see, they've connected. Person means laddu. They identify human being means laddu. And so immediately they come Their big eyes already big, they become bigger. And nose comes out. Has he got some laddu? Has he got some laddu? So the cows, they eat a lot. They have to go far in the forest to eat enough grass. So now they have to go far away from the village. So this is far away from the village. Very nice, sweet, natural place. In fact, if you go there, you realize the real opulence of Vrindavan. Now, Vrindavan is so-called become opulent, big buildings and cars and trucks and rickshaws, e-rickshaws and so many things. But we lost the real opulence. I can remember when I first joined Vrindavan, we would go out on traveling Sankirtan, then we come back and we lay down to go to sleep, and then all night long we know we were back in Vrindavan. One would start over here, and then one would go over here. All around. Now we don't hear that anymore. Instead we hear or even even in the little town of Vrindavan, we have the city peacock. Sometimes in the middle of the night we hear this instead. But you go to Tirkadam and you hear the peacocks crying. The Brishbasis they're saying, Megao! Megao! Especially at the end, now it's starting to get cool, so we don't hear the peacocks. Even in Tirkadam we don't hear them anymore. Especially in the hot season, they're all crying, Megao! Megao! It's too hot, bring the clouds, huh? Megao! Megao! Huh? Of course, my friend, the Chucha Prabhu, who built the Brindakund temple, he's from a certain place in America. He says all the peacocks are crying, New York! New York! And just now the kokilas have stopped their singing. It's becoming cool. So we go to Tirkadam, we hear the peacocks, the kokilas singing. They start out very low. Then they go higher. Then they go higher. Then they start over. Then they have another song. Then they have another song. I ran out of breath. Then their most famous song. Then there's a little bird who sits by the kund, because there's a beautiful kund in Tirkadam, Tirkund. And he's got a nice black jacket and a starched white shirt, and his tail goes boop, boop, boop as he walks around the kund. And he stands in one corner and he goes. But if two of them are walking around the kund and they run into each other, that's almost inimitable sound. Then we have another bird called Tatera, because that's what it sounds like to the Brishbasis. She's a little white and grayish and black, and long legs. They live around the water. In English we call killdeer, because Americans, they like to kill everything, so they love their guns. They kill each other even. So they call it, because they hear the sound, killdeer, killdeer. They say killdeer, killdeer, killdeer. The Brishbasis say tatera, 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 tatera. And this bird, if she will lay her she will lay her eggs on low ground. That means there won't be any rain this year. And if she lays her eggs on high ground, there'll be lots of rain that year. Then we have a little gray dove, gray mourning dove, and she sits in a tree and she goes, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham. Except at Gaur Purnima time, when it starts to get hot, then they change their tune. Sri Gaur Sri Gaur Sri Gaur. So this is way far from the village and very beautiful sweet places where Krishna herds the cows, and it's called Ter Kadam. In Brij Bhasa language, Ter means to call someone. So Krishna comes there, like I said, there's all the cowherd boys and Krishna, they come out there. Then Krishna sees that not all the cowherd boys are there. So he's got a special mobile phone. Just like you got your phone with 10 numbers from 1 to 0. But Krishna, his phone has only 0. Only 0, 0, 0, 0. And Krishna is our only hero. So he plays on his mobile phone. Hey, Sudama, Sri Dama, Madhumangal, Stoka Krishna, please come and make arrangement for taking care of the cows. Because there's 9 lakhs of cows that need a lot of cowherd boys to take care of them. So he calls all the cowherd boys. This is why it's called Ter Kadamma. He climbs in a kadamma tree and has a special mobile phone to call all the cowherd boys. Then the cowherd boys, all day long they're herding the cows, and this Ter Kadam is a nice place. There's one place with nice soft sand. You can play and dance. There's a nice kund to go swimming, a nice kunjas. You can sit and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It's about noontime, all the cowherd boys become hungry. So they all come to Ter Kadam. But Krishna, he's never hungry. Krishna's another name is Mitabuk. He never has hunger. The devotees call him, he comes, but he never has hunger. So all the cowherd boys, they came, but they can't eat without Krishna. Without Krishna, how are they going to eat? So Ter, they give a call. What do they say? Oh Krishna! Oh Krishna! Come take your lunch! We're all very hungry! And Ter Kadamba Baba, he even learned Russian. Idu, Idu, Aro, Aro. In Russian language, Aro was Idu, Idu. So the cowherd boys, they call Krishna. That's another reason it's Ter Kadam. Then Krishna sits down, and no matter if you're front, backward, side, this side, that side, anywhere, wherever you're sitting, everybody sees that Krishna is looking at you only and at no one else. No matter where you're sitting, if you're front or back or side or this way, Krishna is turning his head so fast everybody sees that he's looking at them only. Then everyone sits down to take their lunch, because Krishna has been called with love for the devotee. Just like we offer the food, we call Krishna with love. Although he's the Supreme Lord, he's never hungry, but because our calling, Ter, he comes to take whatever bhoga we offer. So then Madhumangal, he takes a bite out of his laddu and he hands it to Krishna. He said, Are Kanaya, just see what nice laddu my Maya made. And Krishna takes a bite. He already took a bite of the laddu. And Krishna takes a bite. Do we do like that? Who's the head pujari here? And what's his name? Mukundamala. If we find Mukundamala eating the Mangalarti sweets before Mangalarti, we'll take a stick and drive him out the temple. Get out of here, you rascal. But Mangal takes a bite of his laddu. This is love. This is Braja Prem. Very difficult to understand. And he says, just see what nice laddu my Maya made. And Krishna takes a bite. He says, oh, your mother, very nice laddu maker. Very nice. So like this, the cowherd boys, they enjoy their lunch. But today, Krishna is only half full. This is Gopastami day. Now he's gone far, because far in the forest there's no butter. Makhan. Makhan is in the village. Actually, Krishna is famous as Makhan Chor, but he's not stealing. Gopis are making the butter. They're hoping that Gopal will come to take our butter. They're praying every day. They let him come in. They're just watching, waiting he'll come and take our butter. But now he's far in the forest. No butter in the forest. Butter's in the village. So Krishna climbs in that kadamba tree, and he gets on his mobile phone, and gopis, they have prem sim in their heart. So Krishna is calling, Lalita, Visakha, Tungavidya, Rangadevi, Sudevi, bring some butter, I'm very hungry. And so in gopis' heart, they have prem sim. Idu, we're coming. So then the gopis, they all come to the forest, and they're looking for Krishna, like Banki Bihari Darshan. But Krishna's backside the forest somewhere, they can't see. There's Arjun, there's red Prabhuji, some very white Prabhuji, blue Prabhuji is there, Nanda Gopal is there. So finally they open up, and then they give a tear, they give a call. Oh Krishna! Oh Krishna! Come take our butter! And Krishna calls out, Idu! And Krishna comes. But now we're out in the jungle. In the house there's so many katoras and so many things, katoris and katoras. How he's going to eat butter? No container there. The kadamba tree, because this is Ter kadamba tree leaf becomes just like a dona. If you ever seen a kadamba tree leaf, it's like a hand shaped like this, completely flat. But for Krishna, they made a cup like this. In fact, if you go to Ter Kadam and you ask Baba, whenever I come, as soon as he sees me, he knows I'm going to tell everyone. So he brings it out of storage. He has 2 of them, dry kadamba leaves that look just like a dona, naturally. So just natural dona. So then Krishna takes the cup from the kadamba tree and he begins to eat his butter. Now he's fully satisfied. Before he was only half full, now he's got makhan, he's completely satisfied. Finally, last reason this is called Ter Kadam, because at the end of the day, it's time to call the cows home. Because at afternoon time we call Go Duli, right? Sham ka samay, when we do the Uttapan Arti, that time is called Go Duli, because it's time for the cows to come home and they will kick up dust, and this big cloud will come in the sky, dust from their hooves, so we call Go Duli. So Krishna climbs in the tree and he calls all the cows by playing his flute. And all the cows, they hear Krishna's flute, they all come running to Ter Kadam. And Krishna's got special japa mala, 108 jewels. Just like we've got Tulsi mala, Krishna has 108 different jeweled mala. And we're counting names of God, Krishna's counting groups of cows. Because we heard Nanda Baba has 9 lakhs of cows, almost 1 megabyte. So they're basically divided into 4 groups. The white cows, yellowish cows, blackish cows, and reddish cows. And those 4 groups have 25 subgroups. Means how many? 100, Then 8 special groups of cows. Those with little spots, those with big spots, we call Kapilgai, and then we have with tilak on the forehead, with stars on the forehead. Then one type of cow called Mridanga-mukhi, I still want to see, face like a Mridanga. And one type of cow I'm not sure I want to see, Singha-mukhi, face like a lion. Then cows colored like chandan, like sandalwood. 8 special groups of cows, 108 of each group, and counts 1 jewel on his jewel mala. Then when he sees if all the group leaders have come, he sees if all the 9 lakhs of cows come, because he knows them all according to their name, because according to their color they have their name. Just like the white cows are called, one is called Davali. You know Daval means white. But in Brishbhasa language we don't like sharp letters like V. So we smooth that V into a U, becomes Doli. But in Brishbhasa we mix our R's and L's around, so it becomes, instead of Davali, it's Dori. One cow is called Dori, Hamsika, like a swan, white like a swan, Hamsika, Motika, white like a pearl, Chandrika, moonbeam, Chandani, moonlight, all names like this, the white cows. Then the yellowish cows, Pili, Pitambari, Pingala, Gauri, and Gange. Ganga's in the yellowish cows. Have you ever been to, who's been to Prayag? So like beginning this year we had Ardakum, we had a nice camp there. And our friend Damodar was there. Where's Damodar? He's not here now. Damodar was there in charge of the most important, the kitchen. Easy to be either the most liked or most hated devotee in the temple, become the cook. So if you've ever been to Prague, then you see from this side Ganga is coming very golden color. And from this side Jamuna is coming very deep color. And you can actually see the waters mixing in the Sangam. You can see it. You've seen it, huh? So Ganga is very golden color. So Ganga is in the yellowish cows. Then we have the blackish cows. Kali, but we mix R's and L's around, right? So we say Kali and Shamala, Krishangi, Krishnangi, and we just heard Jamuna's blackish, so Kalindi, Jamune, they're in the blackish cows. Then we have the reddish cows. Lali, Kumkumi, Sinduri, Aruni, like that. And Saraswati, we don't see Saraswati river anymore, but according to Shastra we learned she was flowing reddish color. She was cursed by Viswamitra to flow in reddish color. It's another story, but anyway. So Saraswati's in the reddish cows. Then Mridangamukhi, Singamukhi, Taravali with the stars, Taravali with the Tilak, Tilakini. Just like there's one girl in Pakistan, in Karachi, named Tilakini. So Krishna sees if all the 9 lakhs of cows have come, if someone's missing, then he climbs back in the tree and he gives a call. Now all the cows heard Krishna's flute. They all know they're supposed to come. But some cows are very clever. They know that if I don't come, Krishna will climb in the kadamba tree and give a call with his own lotus mouth. Can you imagine Krishna calling your name with his own lotus mouth? Therefore they didn't come, they know Krishna will call. So Krishna climbs in the tree, and he gives a call to all the cows that didn't come. Oh Sinduri, Malika, Manjari, and Arjun, and what's your name? Damodar Charan, Vaibhav Gopal, and Pradeep, Damodar, Nanda Gopal. Where's Radhakund? I don't see Radhakund. Radhakund. So you just imagine Krishna calling your name with his own lotus mouth. Can you imagine such a thing? With his own lotus mouth, Krishna calling your name. How sweet it will be. So you saw the cow, her ear is like this. As soon as Krishna called her name, boop, the ear comes like this to catch all the nectar. And when the nectar fills up to the top, the overflow isn't from the top like this. Overflow comes from here. And then the cows come running with their feet backwards and forwards, and then together, then backwards and forward, and then together, and milk bag is going ka-choom, ka-choom, ka-choom. and the cows are going, and they all come running. They all come running to Ter Kadam. So this place has become known as Ter Kadam. Krishna climbs in the Kadamba tree and gives calls, sometimes gopas, sometimes gopis, sometimes cows, sometimes gopis calling Krishna. This became known as Ter Kadam. And this is the bhajan place. If you say bhajan kutir, then Ter Kadam Baba will become very angry. Not like you in Bombay living in your nice koti with air condition and everything, furniture. He was just under the trees, no kuti. This bhajan place, bhajan stali of Rupa Goswami. And you see beautiful painting there, Rupa Goswami sitting under the tree writing literature. But he doesn't have an iPod, he has a leaf pod. And there's some beautiful gopi girl, golden gopi girl with a pot coming behind him. What happened was Rupa Goswami's older brother, Sanatana Goswami, he was at Pavan Sarovar doing his bhajan. He was thinking, I'd like to offer something nice to my brother. But if you've been to Ter Kadam, even now, 500 years later, there's nothing there, it just feels. That time was only jungle. No MBT, no Govinda's restaurant, no Bharati foods. Where he'll get something nice? But he was thinking like that. So then suddenly this gopi girl, very beautiful gopi girl came, and Rupa Goswami, he's not attached to anything material in this world, but he looked up and he saw this girl and he was completely vimohed, completely bewildered, seeing her beauty. And she said, Baba, there was wedding today in the village and some kheer was left over. My mata told me to go give it to some Baba doing bhajan in the forest. So please take this kheer. So Rupa Goswami looked at this kheer, not ordinary kheer. In India, when we went to make kheer, in the West we put some cashews and some kishmish, a little bit of elaichi, and we think we got fancy kheer. But in India we put chironji, not like cashew and kishmish and elaichi, but chironji and makhana and kesher, and we make very fancy, like that type of sweet rice was there. And Rupa Goswami took that pot. Now our Indian girls, especially the village girls, they're very, 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 very shy. She's all alone in the forest with some strange Baba, so she just put that pot in his hand, and ding, 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 she ran back to the village. Then Rupa Goswami, he ran to Sanatana Goswami, he said, Brata, I brought you some nice kheer. And Sanatana Goswami looked at this very opulent kheer. He's living there in the jungle, where he got such kheer. He said, where did you get such kheer? He said, one gopi girl came, said there was wedding today. And the wedding? Sanatana Goswami, dear, he's dear to the gentle and the ruffians, to everyone. All the villagers come all day long and tell him all the news of the village. So-and-so got married, so-and-so died, so-and-so built a new house, so-and-so plowed his field, so-and-so had a fight with so-and-so. He was the Prime Minister Nawab at Saint Shah, so he settled all the politics of the village also. He knows everything. There's no wedding today. What did that girl look like? Oh, she was very soft, golden color, beautiful lotus petal eyes, beautiful black choti, so soft and so sweet. Then Sanatana Goswami got doubt. He tasted that kheer. Whole body began to shiver. Tears came from his eyes. His hairs were standing on end. Then they both suddenly realized, oh no, that must have been Radharani. And they both began to cry, thinking, we're chanting Hare Krishna, the Krishna let us serve you, Radha Krishna let us serve you. We've taken service from Radharani. And mixed with their tears, they ate that sweet rice. Like that. So that is a beautiful painting there at Ter Kadam. So seeing this cow, I was thinking of Krishna's cowherd pastimes. So I think it's getting late. We'll almost put our voice to rest. We'll do a little kirtan before we end. Before we start the kirtan, we have our book with us, Vraj Lila Part 2, 250 pages of nectar, and it's 10 full-color pictures of Vraj, and it's transcriptions of lectures that I've given. So it's not formal writing, but the way I talk, that's the way the book is. And we're just asking a small donation of 400 rupees to help our Vrindakum project if you want to get one of these books. And I'm here today to sign if you want. So where will books be available?
Books, there's a stall outside.
They're already there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Books are already there.
So, we have our, oh, you're on the harmonium, okay.
Somebody requested.
I know this was, but I'm going to sing something else. So we're going to end with the national anthem of Vraj. Just like you got your national anthem, Jaya 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 Hey. We also have national anthem in Vraj. And this is dancing music. So anyway, once you hear this music, you won't be able to sit, and you're all tired of sitting anyway. So you might as well all stand up. And we're going to give our Mridangawala a workout today. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Shyam, Jai Jai Sri Vrindavan Dham. Prem se Gaur Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhattacharya Ki Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gaur Gopi Gaur Shama Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Sri Navati Maya Dham Sri Jagannath Puri Dham Gangamaya Jamunamaya Ki Srimati Vrindadevi Tulsi Maharani Srimati Bhakti Devi Ki Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Sri Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Go Premanande. All glories to this Amrita. All glories to this Amrita. All glories to this Amrita. All glories.